This is the CHRILLCAST Live. I am Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we're going to be talking about a topic that's kind of halfway refuted, but we think there's a little more to it than what meets the eye. So without further ado, I don't want you guys to announce what we're talking about here.
Go ahead, Andrew. I know you're the most excited.
Okay, we're talking
He's
the
only one who's
rumor.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're talking about the rumor that Amazon has wanted to purchase EA and has actually acquired it, but they're refuting it. So, I mean, Chris, your thoughts are that this is just testing the waters to see what the reaction
9
is.
times out of 10, when a company leaks something this big, it's to see what the audience, or rather the consumers out there feel about it. Like, is this going to negatively affect their public image if they make this move? That's the kind of thing they're looking for.
And it's kind of that is a big thing. You're not just going to randomly just say, oh, this is a rumor. Like, that had to have come from some, like, reputable sources, right?
Yep,
like,
exactly. Like, they're not just gonna.
I'm sure they're having the.
It's a legit it's a legit conversation. That's what this tells us.
Well, and what is the extra? Like, what did they refute? That they already bought it? Because I mean, they could say that and still be in the process, because that's going to be.
I think they said that they haven't bought it. And
they haven't bought it. Yeah.
I don't know if they refuted whether an offer was made, because there was supposedly an offer that was going to be made publicly, like information available at some point.
I heard
that may have been refuted as well.
I heard that they have not bid.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was probably refuted as well.
Right.
But I know that Jason Schreier had on authority of I guess it was like a Swedish newspaper that was reporting on it. It's like, who knows? But usually these leaks, when they hit the mainstream, even if it's not a mainstream source, it's somebody from the company testing the waters. And whether or not it's like a legitimate thing they're going to do, or if it's just teasing for something else that may happen. Like, maybe they're teasing to see what happened if they did Ubisoft.
I mean, in fairness, right? Like, it's a tease to see how it impacts share prices.
Yeah, that. Well, and also, what is Microsoft and Sony going to do? You know, like, maybe they're just teasing this to be like, oh, the other companies are going to try to swoop in and buy them up now.
Well, that's what happened with Activision, because Microsoft got concerned when Apple and Amazon had interest in Activision. And
but still, I'm excited. If it was real, it'd be the best.
It would be awful. No, Amazon dominates like every stupid industry they get into.
Okay, one. I think this would be a fantastic acquisition because EA doesn't know how to manage their own fucking IP. All right.
Okay, but Amazon buying them would be better.
I mean, two. Amazon has proven one thing to me with a lot of their new Prime original TV shows is they do military stuff legitly. Have you seen the Terminal List?
Yeah, I mean,
they've done it very well. They make sure that they're not doing anything crazy with it. They try to make it authentic and whatever. Okay, they've done very well with like Chris Pratt in his most recent show and a couple others.
You want the EA franchises just so you can make TV shows out of them.
No.
You want Battlefield Bad Company.
I want Battlefield Bad Company to be made into a TV series and to have Battlefield Bad Company 3 made, because EA.
Why can't they just have the film rights then?
I want them to make the game. EA doesn't even know how to make the game. They don't even know why people liked it. Let's be honest. You've seen those articles where they've interviewed about it. It's like, why haven't you made Battlefield Bad Company 3? We didn't actually expect anyone to like the game, and we don't know why anyone likes it, is what the response is. So they can't make it. They need some outside company to come in and be like, okay, we're making this. Mm-hmm. And that would be Amazon, man.
I mean, that would be anyone who bought them. Everyone loves Bad Company.
Okay, this would be the worst thing that could happen, is if EA was bought by Disney. Like,
okay, Disney would be terrible, but
Apple, I could see Apple making sense, but I think Activision made more sense for Apple.
The only reason I could see them Apple buying them is the sports brand, because Apple is trying to get Apple TV into sports. So if they're trying to make like a monopoly deal where it's the sports games and broadcasting rights, I could see Apple doing it. But Amazon's trying to do the same thing, right, with broadcasting sports. Disney, I don't see
here's the thing. The problem that I have with this, think about what this will do to the ecosystem of gaming.
All right. If they go exclusive, it just ruins everything.
Amazon has their Luna thing. Imagine if every single game EA makes went exclusive to Amazon's Luna service.
Can I just say one thing real quick, though? I think there's another reason it makes sense for Amazon to buy EA, and that is EA Origin.
Origin is garbage.
Yeah,
Have
but
you ever tried to use it?
But you're pretending
you know how hard
like
it was to even log into my old account?
Yes, but you're pretending like Amazon has a fantastic service right now.
I'm just saying, like, Origin is like one of the worst gaming.
Yeah, but it's still something to acquisition.
No, if you're gonna buy a company for their thing, buy Ubisoft for Uplay. It's better than Origin.
Okay, fine. Yes, Ubisoft for Uplay is better, but why not buy both, EA and Ubisoft? Right there, you actually get every major shooter that is a rival to Activision. So
and you get Assassin's Creed, which is
and you get tons of IP for TV shows.
Amazon Creed would be so much fun.
I'm just saying, like, honestly,
from Amazon's point of view, this makes a ton of sense. It makes so much sense for them to buy
it. From a business standpoint, yes. I just don't know what they would do with it.
With what, EA?
Yeah,
they're trying to have Amazon gaming.
They don't have a gaming console. They have Luna. That's a cloud service.
Yeah, but
trash.
Who says they want to be exclusive? Who says they want to make it exclusive? They just want to make it.
They want to be exclusive.
No, they want.
They would just get contracts if they didn't want. If they didn't want to be exclusive, you just make contracts with them. It's stupid. Why would you buy them outright if you didn't want?
Because Amazon has been trying to expand their game studio for the longest time to make it a legit studio. They want a legit game developer division. That's what they want. And they feel like they need to do it to compete with the streaming wars. Yeah, that doesn't mean that they're going to make their game completely exclusive. It'll be exclusive to their streaming service, but it won't be exclusive from a sales concept.
Do they own Twitch?
They don't own Twitch. Come on.
They have Luna and Prime, Prime Games as a concept.
Oh, who does own Twitch?
Yeah, Amazon.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, all right. So I was right.
They're trying to get into
they could put all of those games exclusively on that streaming service. I think that's what you're trying to allude to. Where
no,
make any sense for that.
They'll put them. They'll make Luna the exclusive. Like, instead of allowing them on Game Pass, they'll make it where you need to own Luna, whatever Prime service they have for streaming games. It's just one of those things where they won't make the game exclusive to like their only their service and not on consoles. Sure, you'll just have to buy it. No, you'll have to buy it. Do you think they're going?
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they take it exclusive? Imagine how many people would have to convert to Amazon service if they made these things exclusive.
No. Okay, fine. They might have a streaming service app for consoles, but you'll still be able to play those games on your PlayStation and Xbox.
I think Amazon has been secretly working on some kind of gaming console.
They're not going to take that exclusive. You know how much money they would lose?
No, I don't think. I think right now the market could easily accept a fourth console right now. The market is so weird.
I agree with Andrew because that's essentially Sony's tactic right now, where they're buying games, make sure that they're not not that they're exclusive, but they can't go on Game Pass. So they're actually paying other studios now, even ones they don't like own or anything, but just to keep them from going on the Game Pass. Mm-hmm. So that could very much be their method here, where there's, they buy out all of these IPs simply to make sure they're not on Game Pass.
I mean, I'm all about protecting the IPs from all landing on Game Pass. I think Game Pass is a cancer for the industry.
I honestly think that between Sony, Apple, if they're actually serious about getting into gaming, and Amazon, I don't understand Disney per se at all being in this conversation.
The reason why Disney would buy them, the only reason why Disney would buy them is, they have ESPN.
And the IPs for movies. Same thing.
Exactly. IPs for movies and sports. That's why Disney would buy them. And because then they could produce these games by doing what they did with LucasArts and just shipping them off to whatever company. Or then they'd have their own exclusive EA division as well.
Right. I guess they're in the conversation because LucasArts has been shipped off to EA for basically game.
That's why Disney's even in this conversation.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
They would be producing Star Wars games exclusively through their developer.
But with the other two, right, it makes the most sense for them if they want to stop. If they actually view Game Pass as a threat, anyone who wants to be strong into gaming, right, is going to view that as a threat. And it makes sense for them to try to purchase certain titles to prevent them from being on Game Pass to
Mhm.
make it where it's not a complete package, and thus make it where people are still inclined not to pay for a shitty service. Like that's how I view it, right? It would make a lot of sense to keep the sports games off of Game Pass because that is actually a death blow to Game Pass because that's the exact style of game that people don't like paying for every single year to play the
Even though
latest
when you
one.
figure it out, when you pay $15 a month, if all you're playing is sports games, you're wasting a lot of money.
Not really. If you play all the sports games, yeah, you might be actually saving money.
You're not saving, no, because nobody plays all of the sports.
If you play
If
all
all
the
you're playing is
do.
Madden, all you're playing is Madden, and you're paying $15 a month for Game Pass and Madden,
You don't know the demographic, man. Those sports games smell like hotcakes. It can't just be a single group of people buying each one. It's all the same people buying it.
Right. People like to stay up to date on all of them because they like to play them with friends.
See,
So
I
it's like,
think that Madden as a service would have made sense a long time ago.
Yeah.
oh, for sure. Same with FIFA, same with all of them. But like, my point is this: people will buy at least 2 of those games. At least 2 of them. There's a large segment who
There's like
probably buy
120
3 of them.
between $120 to $140 right there, but Game Pass for a year is $180.
Okay, let's put it this way: do you really think that people aren't going to buy Madden and the NCAA game every year? That's 2 games.
Yes,
Right
I
off the
do,
bat.
because if people were buying both of those games, then NCAA would still be around, and but prior to now coming back.
No, that was because
If
the only reason
NCAA
it's
was
not a
that
thing is because of the
popular,
name.
no, stop right there, Andrew. NCAA was that popular, EA would have paid for the rights to keep it and continue to produce the NCAA game every single year, but they didn't. So clearly, business-wise, it made no
No, it
sense.
was lawsuits by players. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that stopped it. Not.
Yeah, but they
money
would have
to
fixed it. No, I'm sorry. Money, they would have thrown money at it.
No,
If it was
man.
successful,
No,
would
they
thrown
didn't have
money
that
at
kind
it.
of money.
Okay, also, you're talking about an era that the gaming was not as robust. So I feel like
NCAA 2007, I think I had, was pretty darn robust. That was a good game.
no, you're talking. I'm talking about how much of a market that
Yeah.
is actually
It wasn't
permeated
the
into.
leading entertainment sector yet.
Right, like every kid now, every boy probably has some sort of gaming console across this country to a certain degree. It's probably like at least 75 to high 80 percentile.
It's not more than no. Let's be honest.
It's more, man.
It's
It's
not
definitely more.
no.
And now you have to think about it. 40-year-olds are also buying it. There's 40-year-old gamers, man.
Damn straight.
Like right now, you have our generation, the generation before us. So you got Gen Xers and
I
ours.
can disprove you in one fell swoop here. Okay, sports
Fine.
games used to be on Nintendo consoles, which meant that you could include all 3 consoles when you're talking about sports games. Now you can only include Xbox and PlayStation, which means that only 2/3 of the gaming consoles can actually play sports games. On top of that, the amount of consoles that have sold from the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One is less than the amount of Wii's, PS3s, and Xbox 360s that sold prior. So there are less gamers now than there were back then.
Chris,
No,
let me
there's
just,
no way.
let me just
There's
point
way
one
more people.
thing out, Chris. Let me just point one thing out. You currently have gamers from 3 generations versus 1.5 generations who are buying games. Just going off of demographics, you currently will have almost every demographic who is spending any money worth spending on entertainment with a little bit of interest in gaming, especially sports games, because sports are still the leading profit margin of entertainment on television still. And like the
Not by
exclusive
much
reason
anymore, though.
no, it's like the exclusive reason that people actually own cable subscriptions. The vast majority of this country
you're not
only
wrong
have
about that.
cable because of
Sports
that.
is not dying for one reason and one reason only.
It's live.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
I mean, once sports become like mainstream on Twitch or YouTube, it's over.
No,
Cable's
the second sports are actually just purely achievable through streaming services. Like if
Cable's
Apple gets
toast.
their way, cable's gone.
Host.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
So-
but you have to understand there are less consoles right now than there were back in the days of the Wii, Xbox.
That's not true, man, because you still have all the Wii's. You still have, like, it's building. So like,
No.
all those
You're
consoles like that.
misunderstanding me. the amount of consoles available to a modern publisher who's publishing a game right now is less than the amount of consoles that were available to
Are
publish.
you trying to talk about PS5s and Xbox?
Yeah,
No,
because
the
you
new
still have
Xboxes?
Xbox Ones,
Because
and you also have PCs.
there's
mobile.
supply problems.
there are less
you're talking-
PS. No, I'm just strictly talking about 8th gen, and I'm not bringing in the 9th gen because the 9th gen is barely here, even though it's been 2 years.
Okay.
No, 8th gen. There are less 8th gen consoles capable of playing sports games than there were 7th gen. Just straight facts. There are less. There was 105 million Wiis. There was 85 million PS3s. There was 85 million Xbox 360s. That's almost 300 million. You add in the PSP, PS Vita, whatever other consoles you want to add in there. They had sports games on them too. Even though the Wii U had a sports game on it. Had Madden 13. The Switch has
I'm
zero
still
sports
failing
games.
to. What's the point of this conversation again?
I'm saying that he was saying there's more interest, and I'm saying there's less because
There's
less
definitely more interest now.
More
Like,
interest.
the industry is. I don't understand why you're arguing this. This is like every news article ever. Like, it's growing. Like, yes, there's less consoles, but there are way more people buying games. There's way more games being bought. There's more areas where you can buy the games. Game Pass.
I think it's a fallacy.
The things on PC.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm looking at the breakdown right now, and it's growing by like $30 or $40 billion a year. They're projecting
Money,
it.
yes. Games are getting more expensive. There's less,
But they're not. I can get the same game on
They're
Xbox.
$10 more expensive at best, Chris.
That's worth $30 billion right there.
But like, I'm just saying, I think sports games are currently more popular with a larger portion of the gamer market than Call of Duty. That's my opinion. I think it is because I hear more people bitch about Call of Duty than I hear people bitch about sports games outside.
Because there's less people playing sports games.
No.
I haven't touched a sports game since Madden 2015. I was so disgusted with the practices. I have not bought a single.
I know people who literally bought a console exclusively to play sports games. Those people exist.
Good for them.
Those people literally
that
exist.
Market is ever shrinking.
I don't know if it is.
It is definitely shrinking.
Maybe among Gen Z, but there's literally a contingent. There is a contingent of Gen Xers and millennials who literally buy consoles.
Well, it's like let's go with Chris's assumption that there's less people playing the games. Those games are still making more money because they're live services now.
Yeah, well, that's a fact. Yeah, there's.
I forget what we were even talking about originally. Why were we even getting into this? They're making more money off sports games than ever.
I'm saying the interest in sports games is in a steady decline. It's not like a fast decline, but they plateaued back in like the teens. That's why Madden switched to a live service. They can make all the money, not just some of the money.
What we're trying to debate here is that it would make a massive impact on Game Pass if they could not have sports games, and I believe that is true. It would be a huge loss.
Well, they have all the EA games already in Game Pass, so like just taking that whole chunk out would be a huge blow.
I think that so I think the sports games do attract new people. There are definitely people that get into Game Pass just to have sports games. Yes. I think that people are spending too much money on Game Pass and they're getting into it just for sports games. I
agree, but that doesn't matter.
No, stop. I'm not done. Another thing that I don't think that not having sports games will hurt Microsoft at all in the long run because sports games are expensive to have on the service. That contract has got to be the most expensive contract of anything they put on Game Pass. I guarantee it. MLB The Show from Sony, that cost them a lot of money to put that on Game Pass.
Okay.
And on top of that, if you remove it, you lose a few people. But once they're already on the service, who cares? They'll probably keep paying for it because they forget they even have it.
So, Chris, let me just lay out a hypothetical here because it's one of those things where people will buy sports games every year. They'll also buy a shooter every year. Okay?
There are those people. I agree.
There's those people who will do both.
That generation keeps getting repopulated because it's really like the high school generation that's going to be right. So there's always new high schoolers.
He is really all that into sports games.
So we're
buying it then.
It's the same Gen X.
Someone is.
Hi, man.
Gen X are buying it all up.
All I'm saying, Chris, my point is this: let's remove Madden, let's remove NHL, let's remove FIFA. And then NCAA from Game Pass. That's 4 games games right there. That if someone were to buy them all in 1 year,
I don't think any of those are even on Game Pass.
they're all EA.
I don't. Well, they're EA. I don't think
NCAA's
no,
not
those
out
are not
yet,
part of EA
by the
Play.
way.
I don't think those are part of EA Play. Let me see. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna Google this now.
All right, there's currently 3.24 billion
Remove-
people worldwide that are gamers.
EA Play.
If you remove Battlefield from the equation,
I don't think EA Play includes.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What's an EA Play? What are we talking about? I was looking up demographics.
Let's see here. Let's see. We're gonna find out right now. Okay, so they have a trial. Let's see here. Huddle up. 10-hour early access trial of the game. 3 days before release. Let's see here.
And all the other ones are on there, so you may not get this one yet.
I don't see that it's officially on EA Play yet. Let me see. They receive EA Play. Visit EA Play page. Yeah, so they're saying pre-order it. I don't think it's actually on Game Pass.
okay, but you would be removing sports as a concept.
I don't
From
think
Game
any.
Pass.
I think MLB The Show might be the only sports game on Game Pass.
That's not true. All the other Maddens are on there because I
The
have
old
them
ones?
downloaded. I have them downloaded. I've played
The
them.
old Maddens.
Yeah, last year's Madden, so like it's not that.
You
Okay.
would still be only ever 1 year behind.
Yeah,
That's a vast improvement over
that's
the.
fair. I think they wait till the season's over to put it on EA Play. I think that's how it goes. I could be wrong.
All I'm saying is you'll still only ever be 1 season behind, which to a lot of people is not terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, like most people think about this. The way I purchase them is I'll buy them for the new console when I get a new console. I'll hold on to them until it's like I really need to upgrade in my mind. If it's a sport that I don't actually follow, I'm not upgrading it. So like Madden or NHL, I'm not upgrading it until like my next console probably. Or for some reason I really want to upgrade. But like FIFA, I care about FIFA, so I actually upgrade that usually.
Okay, so besides
'Cause I'm a
Battlefield,
loser like that. But
can we think about what else EA actually had? Let's get out of this sports mind here.
Hold on a minute.
Dragon Age, Mass Effect.
Yes. So what kind of cool TV shows could those be? Imagine.
I
Mass
mean,
Effect
Dragon
as a
Age would
TV
be
show.
another. I mean, it'd be a little oversaturating right now since they have Lord of the Rings, but
Yep.
and the Wheel of
Expanse
Time.
versus Mass Effect, or yeah,
Mass
Wheel of
Effect
Time.
is the type of thing they currently don't have.
Yeah, that'd be a great IP to have.
But I mean, if once they get like experience with the Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings, Dragon Age would be 100% a perfect IP to turn into a show. Just to have it sitting there to be like, oh, they've gone through these 2 massive things of content. What will Amazon do next? Dragon Age pops
Well,
up.
Dragon Age
instantly.
would make sense when Lord of the Rings is over.
Right.
But Lord of the Rings, I mean, who knows how many seasons of that will last?
Wheel of Time, I thought was pretty well received.
Yeah, they changed a lot of it though.
True.
So I did listen to that Jeffrey Jan, like just for a quick little side note. I did listen to that Jeffrey. Is it Jeffrey Jans? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Johns,
Jeffrey Johns. I listened to his recap on Lord of the Rings, and the way he described it. One of the things he pointed out to me that I didn't think about is that you cannot pretend you're in the same universe as Peter Jackson, and then it works a little better.
Well,
So-
one, they don't own the rights to that. So
Yeah.
that was actually really good. I think that was a video that explains the rights of actually like how or what Amazon actually owns. So they own the appendices. They don't even own the Silmarillion. So like they
Right.
have to fit it in a really weird way. So like that is going to explain a lot of the funkiness. But 2, I really appreciated his review because this is just like he was just actually calling out like why did you film it this way, like now this character is no longer relatable. Okay, what's the next character I might like? And then you're like, oh no, this character also sucks. All right, what's the next one I'm gonna like?
I probably am not going to watch the show based on that review alone.
Oh, we're watching it because we're reviewing it, but
Yeah.
we're gonna have a very interesting review of it.
I don't think I'm going to watch it at this point. Like, I'm not going to waste hours of my life watching this
I'm
show.
assuming we're gonna have a very interesting review. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, it was good from a perspective that he was giving. saying like you cannot compare this show to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings.
Yes, you can. You can still compare.
You can
still
compare it, but you can't go into it thinking that it is the same.
No,
world.
you can think it's the same, but you can easily compare. Yes.
That is fair. You can do comparisons between them, but you can't act as if they're coming from the same team or the same set of actors or even the same perspective.
False. It should come from a similar perspective because it's still the universe that was created, and it should have the same tones.
You can compare them, but you can't act as if they are the same perspective.
It's the same universe.
It is the same universe. That doesn't mean the same perspective. Like you can tell. So let me give you a reason why I'm saying this. So like you can film things from different perspectives and be in the same universe. You can do that. I'm not saying you change the whole plot or like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but
that's a problem.
I mean, that's the whole point of a review. What am I reviewing if I can't compare it to something?
So, Chris,
I said you can compare it.
I think we're defining perspective differently in this case. You're defining if you're looking through a different lens, but that just means your interpretations of things are different. What you're seeing physically in that lens should resemble what you're seeing in the other lens. Like if
the tones shouldn't be so different that I can't tell it's the same franchise.
Right. Like if I look at it, okay, for example, you personally right now, if Will and I see you, you look exactly the same. Physically, you should.
Well,
that's what I'm saying is physically the world should look the same and technically have a similar vibe. Perspective can be different in how you interpret that vibe and how you interpret the interaction, but the universe itself should be the same. Is what I'm trying to say.
They should have just hired Peter Jackson to do the show.
Probably. But okay, getting back to the point of this thing, it's like, I don't know. I think Amazon makes sense. Who's the next one? Apple, maybe? Who's willing to splash cash
I think
if
Apple
they ever stop doing
the most sense out of all three of these
because
sports to mobile makes so much sense. Like you could easily pair a Bluetooth controller with an iPhone and boom, you've got Madden on the go. Like they've already got that setup kind of going. I think if you just solidified that by Apple owning them, it would be like business wise, it is so streamlined. Like the perfect idea for them. I don't like it, but I'm willing to accept that makes sense.
The way I view it, I think Apple would also be more interested in IP than in the IP than the actual games. But also, I think Apple's case, the sports games aren't necessarily about playing the sports. It's about a negotiating tool for getting themselves better deals on the broadcasting rights. Because they made a big money splurge for MLS, right? They made a big money splurge for cricket in India. And I think they have ambitions for the NFL. So if they owned Madden, like that would make sense. And once you have the NFL, it doesn't take you much to like make inroads into trying to get college football, especially when you're going to have the SEC versus the Big Ten, like trying to be big money competitors. Just like trying to, if you have FIFA and trying to get like the Premier League or La Liga or Bundesliga, that's a huge thing. And right now, obviously, there were issues with FIFA and the actual FIFA organization, right? So maybe
Apple apparently was actually in active talks to buy EA, by the way. They just backed out a couple days ago. Apparently, according to it's Mac rumors, so just take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, they were actually in talks to acquire them.
Well, they're clearly shopping themselves around. So I'm just curious who's going to end up actually biting this.
I think the problem is what I've always said about EA is I think they overvalue themselves. They take themselves too seriously for this type of thing to actually happen. But
watch Embracer Group buy EA.
Oh my gosh, I'd be more okay with that.
I mean, at least we know that Netflix isn't trying to buy them.
That would be horrible.
Like Netflix buying Ubisoft makes more sense just because the IP to TV show is like much more apparent.
Yeah.
But if they actually thought critically, I think EA.
I think if Google had wanted to make Stadia work, they would have bought EA. Google has the money.
Probably.
They have.
Maybe they'll do
But
that in the
Google
last
doesn't
minute.
make anything work, man.
Google can't do anything. Like they do a few things right, and that's about it.
Tell me the last thing Google came out with that wasn't a blatant copy or just rolled out terribly. Give me one thing.
Lately?
Let me think. Give me a second. Let me think.
Just give me
Google
the last
Home.
thing, Will. The last thing.
Google Home probably was pretty,
search
like, a lot of people like that.
Google Home?
Yeah, the Nest series of products. A lot of people like that. I mean, they technically bought it.
Who did that first? Apple? I mean, not Apple. Amazon or Google? I thought
Google.
Apple
Google
was first.
No, because Nest was the first one, and Google bought them. I guess I don't know if that counts then.
Wait, no, I thought Amazon did Alexa first and started down that road.
I don't think so, because the Nest has been around a long time.
Okay.
I know people that had the Nest back in like 2011.
All I can think of is Stadia is garbage. Rolled out terribly.
And Amazon copied them. That was a mistake.
Google Glasses were terribly rolled out. Then you have what else? They tried to do their social media, not really like that
Google
weird
Plus.
Google Plus thing. That was terrible.
They
tried
pause
to
right there
do.
for a second. I loved how Mark Zuckerberg talked about Google Plus
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
Joe Rogan interview. It's hilarious.
There's what else? They tried doing shoot, what is it? I'm blanking. It's on the tip of my tongue. All right.
Shorts is tanking hard.
No. They basically their phone is like, okay, I guess the newest thing I think they've done that was good is Android, but at the same time, like their phone is still just like it comes in as a copy of everything else. They weren't the first, like their phones, the Google Pixel was not the first phone to really use Android. It's like a late market player who came in.
No,
utilize it.
Google's phones have never been about capturing the market. You do recognize that they're meant to be more of like clean Android developer style phones. They're not meant to be like market capturing.
No, devices. I know, but I'm saying they weren't innovative with their phones.
No, they've always paid somebody else to develop their phones. Like they did in the beginning, it was HTC was their partner, and then they switched over to LG for a little while, and then they had Samsung producing. It's never been in-house Google stuff.
Right.
Pixel has never been like a
I think it just proves Andy's point, though. It's like,
you're proving my point is that Google's not the innovator. They're not an innovator. Yeah.
Their Android operating system is where they innovate. They don't innovate with phones.
No, I'm saying like when has the last time they actually rolled out a product that's innovative and not shittily rolled out? It's been a long time.
Google search. That was the first. That was the last time they innovated.
So it's just like when someone talks about Google, it's just like it's hard to take that seriously.
Mostly what they do is they buy and refine. That's what Google does.
Technically, yeah.
They buy YouTube, they refine YouTube. They buy the company that made. I think they bought whoever was working on it.
They're just an acquisition company.
At this point, for the most part, yeah.
I mean, okay, if you had to choose as Amazon, right? Which company do you think would be a better acquisition? EA or Ubisoft?
Embracer Group.
I have to think about that.
Tencent. They should buy Tencent.
Like what? So if you're saying just
if you're Amazon
on, like,
and you think
TV.
and think of every single aspect of your business, what one's better? Amazon buying EA or Ubisoft? I think it's EA, 100%. The IP is so much more variable and like useful. I guess if you buy Ubisoft, you get more of a monopoly on Tom Clancy.
Yeah, they've already got the monopoly to the rights for TV series producer, though.
Right, so you already own Tom Clancy.
Yeah, so why go for the games?
Why go for the games?
You could make a Tom Clancy spin-off of your shows at that point, then.
Right, but then all you're really acquiring as a IP worthy of anything is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But what about Skulls and
Who made that movie?
What, Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Sony.
Oh, God. Nobody wants that.
Wasn't that Sony?
I think it was Sony, but nobody wants that. Could have been Touchstone.
Oh,
the point is, someone has those rights already.
Maybe, but if you own the game, none of those are forever. I don't believe.
Did Ubisoft buy EA? What is this? No, they can't afford EA. Like Ubisoft has
EA is
money, but they don't
bigger.
have that much money.
EA's bigger. I thought.
Sorry, I'm just laughing. Like, who thinks that Ubisoft's gonna buy EA? I'm sorry. Like, what?
All right, well, let's talk about the chances of Microsoft trying to buy them now too.
No. They
Microsoft's
can't
gonna
afford
buy
'em.
Amazon? No.
They can't afford them, Will.
EA, not Amazon.
Yeah,
I was making a
they can't
joke, Will.
afford EA. EA, the only reason these talks are breaking down, if they're actually breaking down, is because EA overvalues themselves. Because
Well,
they're
I mean,
arrogant as
Microsoft
shit.
spent like $70 billion on.
Do you think they can do that more than that many times? How many times can they do that?
How much money does Bill Gates have?
Bill Gates is not involved. I hate when I see news articles and it has his picture.
A lot of his money is still tied up in Microsoft.
Yeah, but seriously, Microsoft only has so much money. They cannot just go out and buy EA as well. And the Activision deal already put them on the
FTC's.
What if they drop Activision by EA? Because hasn't gone through yet.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think that's a better deal for them.
Okay.
I think Activision is the perfect deal for Xbox. That's the problem.
It makes sense. I mean, they're a first-person shooter company. Like
they were already incestuously related to an extreme degree throughout the 360 era. So it's just, they were already basically
better on the Xbox.
They were basically an exclusive the way they treated everything.
Until the PS4 when they got a bunch of exclusive Call of Duty stuff on there.
Circling back to the Assassin's Creed movie, 20th Century Fox actually distributed that.
That's why it sucked.
But the thing is, that's now it's owned by Disney, which means that Disney may actually have the film rights to that.
Can you look up if they still have the rights to Assassin's Creed movies? Because I feel like that had to have been that had to have had clauses in it.
I like how the first thing that pops up is who owns the film rights to the Hulk. Like,
and then Lord of the Rings, X-Men.
Null?
What the heck is Null? I love how all of these are primarily superheroes.
I know. And I've never searched any of these things. That's the even funnier part to me. All right, let's see.
I think it's because of how many Hulk movies there are. It makes actually a lot of sense that the Hulk is up there.
It's Assassin's Creed. I don't want all this other stuff in there. Let's see. Sony owns the... What, really? Sony does.
Nice. I could see
it. Interesting.
I didn't get that answer.
Did you write who owns the film rights?
I said who owns Assassin's Creed movie? I guess film rights makes more sense.
Yeah, Disney might own that particular. Like Sony still owns stuff that they don't actually have film rights to produce new things of.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't lose the rights to a film you've already produced usually.
Interesting.
Okay, that's kind of.
I think this was part of why people thought Sony might acquire Ubisoft was because they had moved to acquire the Assassin's Creed film rights.
Yeah. So maybe that's the reason no one's going hardcore for Ubisoft.
Yeah,
they seem like they've already sold their film rights.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee no one's bought the film rights to Bad Company.
Yeah.
Why would they? Why would they?
Well, yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm curious now. What EA franchises? Let's see what active EA franchises exist right now.
Bro, they've killed so many. You know what? Mercenaries. Bring back Mercenaries. Or Army of Two. Honestly, both of those would make dope TV series as well.
Oh, they own the rights to the Harry Potter games.
Wait, really? Yeah, the old ones, right?
Are you sure?
Isn't Warner Brothers the new one?
Let's find out. Let's find out. Well, maybe EA and Warner Brothers together.
I feel like it has to be Warner Brothers.
No, Hogwarts Legacy is up there. Isn't that the game?
That's the new one, yeah.
It just said Hogwarts Legacy up there.
Hold on. I can't see.
Wait, are they a partner on it?
The three publishers of Harry Potter video games are Lego Software, Electronic Arts, and Asper Media. Let's see who made Hogwarts Legacy then. I know Sony's got exclusive rights.
Well, if you just look up Hogwarts Legacy publisher, it says Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but who owns Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment?
Warner Brothers. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, actually.
No, yeah, who is?
I don't know who actually owns WB Games. Because didn't they get sold out to Disney at one point?
I didn't think so.
They were trying to sell it off, and
Oh yeah, they're
Microsoft-
trying to sell off their game. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Their game division. That's what it was. So Portkey Games is the publishing label for games set within the Wizarding World franchise. That's the Harry Potter, I'm assuming, right?
Mhm.
So who owns Portkey Games now? Still Warner Brothers. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Warner Brothers still owns it.
Right.
Okay.
And they own the movies, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know that. I know that Warner Brothers still owns Harry Potter. It's probably one of the things that they actually own that makes a lot of money for them. Because
Warner
they
Brothers?
Warner Brothers, well, I'm talking about gaming.
Oh.
For gaming. Harry Potter with their
And the Arkham games.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
Batman.
gonna-
Batman.
There's yep, that's true. I forgot about
Mortal
those
Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal
They
Kombat.
own Mortal Kombat?
They do.
Yeah.
Why do
I
you think I
did
was
not
so
know that.
pumped about the idea before
They make that
Microsoft bought
movie,
everybody?
too.
Microsoft was thinking about buying a WB. I was like, oh, cool.
I didn't
Okay,
even know
so-
about this Hogwarts mystery. Okay.
Well,
and
that,
also Lord of
that
the
game's
Rings.
going to be the Hogwarts Legacy game is going to be pretty cool. Sony got
I
exclusive.
think they
for
got
that?
rid of no, not exclusive. I thought they had like
Oh.
some like launch exclusive something or
Oh,
other.
okay.
Okay, getting back to what I was getting at though here, I just want to get to one thing real quick. Let's go through the EA franchises that are existing right now. They got Battlefield, Bejeweled. Ooh, there you go. That's why.
Okay, but
Apple-
Battlefield includes Bad Company and regular Battlefield. And the futuristic Battlefield. Let's just make sure that is
Yeah, I mean all of the Battlefields. Yes.
all Battlefields.
Okay. I don't know what Colin McRae. Oh, I know what Rally and Dirt Series. I remember those are pretty cool racing games actually.
Mhm.
Command and
they
Conquer.
own Command and Conquer. Crisis. Although I didn't know that. Yeah, I know that that's there. Let's remove that. Microsoft does suck when it comes to a lot of things. All right, Dead Space. Aren't they making a new one finally?
I don't know.
They
haven't
are.
heard
They're
anything
rebooting
about
it. Or
That's what I
like
thought.
it's a remake. But they
Dead
also
Space
have the
would be a. go ahead.
Calypso Protocol looks so cool. It's by the original creator.
Isn't that the one that? No, there was like a Dead Space style game that one of our previous guests was working with somebody on. I just can't remember what it was called.
I don't know.
There was Sony all the way. Now I'm thinking like Jingle all the way, Sony. All
No,
the way.
no.
Do, do,
Too far
do,
away
do,
still.
do.
Stop that.
All right, sorry. Dead Space. So that would be a really cool IP to do a TV show about.
Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be terrifying. They could do such a
It would
good-
be very terrifying.
Mhm.
All right.
There's not enough horror movies on there, so
The Def Jam games. I forgot about that one. Yep.
I mean,
Dragon
Dragon
Age, we
Age,
already know about that
obviously.
That's a big
Dungeon
one.
Keeper. Okay, so they got the FIFA F1. F1. That's one I forgot about too.
Oh yeah.
Grid series.
Need
I
for
don't
Speed.
actually know a lot about Grid. Yeah, Harry Potter, Jane's
Medal of Honor.
Combat Simulations. What's Jane's Combat Simulations?
No idea.
I'm not gonna even get it.
It doesn't matter if
Oh
you
know
get
my
what?
gosh, they have Titanfall. I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that. That would be an
Titanfall would
amazing
be-
show.
Yes, it would.
What is this? Jane's. It was a brand of PC flight and combat
Okay.
simulator. Okay. All right, back to EA. Obviously, Madden, Mass
Yeah,
Effect,
Mass Effect, Medal of Honor. Okay. Mercenaries was dope. Yeah.
Micro Machines. That was pretty fun, like a long time ago. But I would never think of Micro Machines as like a top tier franchise.
And which one I bet they make Mirror's Edge first?
As a TV show? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Mutant League. I don't remember what that even is.
I don't know, man.
Isn't it football? But like with
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had a board game with this too, I think. Or something
Okay.
like this as a board game. It was pretty cool. I remember it came out on shelves. I think Hasbro built it though. Okay. NBA Jam,
Need for Speed, man.
Need for Speed. And Need for Speed is an amazing franchise. But I just want to point out, Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 is the best game in the
Mhm.
They
series.
actually made a
But
Need
that
for
could
Speed
be that could be a great TV series.
It could be. Or it
It
could
really
be a really
could
bad
be.
one.
Because, like, let's be honest, Fast and Furious has gone the route of action movie, not
They're
actually
basically like
what
a
it was.
superhero movie at this point.
Yeah, so it's just like it's the Avengers of cars.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
they could. That's
Operation-
actually a market that they could probably break into.
I forgot they owned Plants vs. Zombies. so
Overlord, it was kind of a cool game, wasn't it?
I don't
I remember
remember
what
that
it
even
is.
is. Action. Oh, it's by Codemasters. Okay, I think Codemasters is still an EA-owned company, isn't it? Could be wrong about that.
Can't remember.
Maybe they shut them down too. Who knows?
EA is the king of shutdowns. Imagine. Okay, All right, I'm just gonna make this joke right here. Imagine Amazon buys EA and shuts them down.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
First day.
They only purchased them for the IP to
Yeah, and
make
then just
shows,
shut them
not
down.
games. Yeah,
All
that'd
right.
be sad. But
It'd be like the ultimate like revenge. Like somebody at Amazon's like, we need to buy them to shut them down because they pissed me off. Some like old dev from one of the studios they shut down. Like the person who's creating Star Wars 1313's like on the Amazon board. We need to buy them.
Plants vs. Zombies.
Yep. Oh yeah, Sims. Sims would be a cool one for Apple or Amazon. Honestly, that could be that could be a browser run game.
Oh, they have the Skate series.
Yeah, but that one kind of died, and Tony Hawk made a huge resurgence. So who knows?
Skate's coming back too.
Is it though? Are people excited
You could
about
just
Skate?
as easily turn that into a TV series if you wanted to. I'm just saying.
What about Spore, guys? Remember Spore?
Yeah.
I was so excited. Oh my gosh, so excited about this game when it first came out.
They could have their own Pokemon with Spore, man.
They really could.
It could be instead of Ash Ketchum, it could be Cash Ketchum. Because they're gonna catch all the cash. All right, SSX, isn't that the snowboarding?
One? Yeah,
it's a good one to have. System Shock. Oh yeah, System Shock. That's right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, Titanfall. You already said Toka. Ultima's a good one. That's
Wing Commander.
Is that like a combat flight simulator essentially?
I believe so.
Oh, there's novels on that too. You can make a TV series out of Wing Commander.
Yeah.
I haven't had a new one since
Space Combat Simulation.
Oh, Space Combat.
Actually, that's even cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, they did have The Expanse, which they ended, so they don't have space content currently.
True.
Yeah. All right, let's get back
Which they could just as easily do the Battlefield, was it 2048 or whatever?
42.
42, yeah. So.
Oh, we missed Road Rash, guys, and Project Cars.
That's fine. I mean, there's at least 5. There's at least, 5 games on here? Well, Battlefield. I mean, theoretically, Command and Conquer you could do something with. Crisis, Dead Space, Dragon Age. I mean, easily could do something with Mass Effect.
I'm curious now. What does Amazon Game Studios actually own?
Wait, what of that the Army of Two game? I don't see that on here. They totally made Army of Two. That's a visceral game, isn't it?
I don't have any idea.
Army of Two. Okay, they have about 10 IPs that you could easily. You could.
Amazon owns Dragon's Lair now. What? They produce that?
I don't know.
I did not even know that. They did Grand Tour.
They haven't Lord of the Rings MMO.
Yeah, that's supposed to be coming at some point. It was
canceled, bro.
No. There is one coming. There's quite a few.
It was supposed to have been coming at one point from Amazon.
Well, Embracer Group, you keep talking about them, actually has been coming out.
Yeah. I think Amazon, when they got the rights, originally were planning on doing an MMO at some point. There's Crucible, which was a super failed Fortnite mixed with PUBG, mixed with... It was like a cartoony thing, but it was like gritty, so it didn't look right. It's just
they have the New World. Isn't that doing really well?
New World is supposedly doing very well. Lost Ark. That's one I haven't heard too much about yet. Top down 2.5 fantasy mass. Wait a second. So this is like a side-scrolling massive multiplayer? What? What even is this?
It's a new game.
Oh, it's like no, it's not a mobile game because it's on Windows.
Oh. No, I said it's a
Unreal Engine 3?
Lost Ark. I feel like I've been getting ads for this on YouTube a lot.
What on earth is this? It's been out since 2019 in South Korea, apparently. It's finally coming to... it came this year. Oh, so this is like they acquired the rights to publish it in America. Okay, so this is just one of those deals. Okay.
Have you did you say New World is getting good reviews, or?
I've heard good things really about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's out of beta yet though.
I think it is.
I have no idea.
Released on the 28th, September 28th. So it was released last year about this time, September. Let's see. Yeah, it's like a mid-17th century colonization game.
Nice.
It was originally planned to be free to play. I don't remember how much it costs. I think it is like a regular cost type of deal. But I do know that when it first came out, there was all those issues with the graphics cards. Like there were several graphics cards that were reported online to have like caught fire while playing this game.
Oh, really?
I remember that being a thing.
Okay, but like if we go back to what EA owns, because that list you have was not all inclusive.
No,
I'm
it was
pretty
just
sure.
It was just. I mean, Army of Two is technically, I think, part of the Battlefield series. Isn't that true?
Was it?
I think it's
I don't
technically
think so.
under the
I didn't
umbrella
think
of
so.
Battlefield.
No,
I thought it was
I
more
don't
likely
think
to be under the. I thought it was more likely to be under Mercenaries, because Visceral wasn't
it
it
could
Visceral,
be.
or was it Pandemic who made?
Yay! Hold on. Yay!
Visceral Games.
Visceral
And
Games was EA, and then wasn't there a Pandemic or whatever?
I don't think Pandemic worked on this one.
But they worked on Mercenaries.
Yeah.
Trying to think. How did I even get to that old list that I was on?
No idea.
That was a bizarre. Let's see if I can find it again. Is this it? Development Studios. How did I even get to that?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize there was a third
Army
one.
of Two is owned by EA Montreal.
Yay! What?
Montreal.
Yeah, but isn't that what Visceral Games turned into?
I think so.
Army of Two is a third-person shooter video game series developed by EA Montreal. The first game in the series was released in 2008, and then so it's EA Montreal Visceral Games, and the last game was in 2013. Which that's a game they should go back and reboot. I think that's a game they should reboot.
What,
And
Army of Two?
Mercenaries, yeah. Army of Two and Mercenaries. I think those are two games they should reboot.
Yeah, I don't know how I got to that page before. Oh well.
But right now, just off of that list, which was not a complete list,
There's a lot of value there.
there's a lot of value in just that list. There's at least 10 games that EA owns that you could easily turn into great IP for TV shows.
Yeah, Madden would
also
make a great
reboot.
TV show. Oh wait.
Bro.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Andrew's already explained why that still makes sense. So
I was making a joke. Okay, guys.
you're not allowed to make jokes, man. You don't come off like you're making a joke. Can't read you through the screen.
Because Amazon actually does want the NFL streaming, so.
No, I know that. I'm aware of that fact. Yeah. So here's the next thing I want to get into. So let's just say EA and Amazon don't get it. It doesn't work out. Amazon doesn't have that many gaming franchises.
They're gonna buy somebody.
They're gonna buy somebody. So who's it gonna be?
It's not. I don't think it's Ubisoft, because I don't think Ubisoft actually has the value behind it. If they've sold their movie rights,
Yeah, but they could get it cheap enough. Maybe they would.
if they buy Ubisoft, it would be purely for the game development talent.
What if they bought Embracer Group though?
What's their list?
Embracer Group?
Yeah,
They own
what's their
so
list?
much stuff now.
Huge
Yeah, look
group.
up this list.
Yeah, they've just got a huge.
Would they want to
huge-
spend that much money on them?
I don't know. They've been building this up for a while now. They even own Asmodee, which is like the biggest board game publisher in the world.
I guess it's just, I don't know. I just
They
feel
own
like
Catan. They own Catan.
okay. I feel like EA just makes so much sense for Amazon to buy,
Agreed.
given the price of EA that I'm assuming is out there. The fact that they've been flirting with the announcement by
Yeah, because
leaks.
just for the record, Embracer Group just bought the American set of Crystal Dynamics, the group that published Eidos Montreal.
Why do you
Tomb
think
Raider.
that someone would?
Tomb
Yeah,
Raider.
why do you think someone would acquire this group? Because it
Well,
doesn't make
Tomb
any
Raider.
sense.
Tomb
No,
Raider, you get
but-
Tomb Raider, you get the new
Okay.
KOTOR game.
Are they forming this specifically to sell it, or are they just trying to be as big as possible? Because
I think they're trying to be as big as possible.
this
Embracer
doesn't
Group?
look like these acquisitions don't make them look like a group that is trying to sell themselves. They
Well,
look
probably
like they're
not,
trying to
But
dominate.
Amazon could swoop in and just we want you.
They're
Amazon
looking
is
like they
the
want to
most
be the
valuable
only.
company. I think, aren't they the most valuable company on the planet? Amazon.
They
Maybe.
gotta be close, but I'm not sure.
It's got to be close.
This looks like a company that's trying to acquire as much stuff as possible so they can be like one of the few developers on all the platforms.
Well, here's a dark horse that nobody's thinking about. What other company could Amazon buy, provided they would actually be sold, that would immediately make Amazon a contender in the market?
Sony.
Nope.
Are you talking about CD, right?
Nope. Although
Really?
CD Projekt Red would be good because it'd have GOG. I didn't think about that.
But I was also thinking that that's more in line with Sony's business model. But
By Steam?
Yeah, what if they bought Valve?
how much would they have to splash?
It would be,
for
dude.
that?
They'd have to park like 4 Amazon trucks worth of millions in front of.
Here's my only problem with that is I actually do think that they would. I think that it would be too easy for their competitors to get that blocked by the government.
Why? Well, what grounds would they have to stand on for buying Valve?
It would be Steam. Honestly, it would be taking the acquisition of another online marketplace. I could see that. I could see it. I know there are others, but that's such a large market share that like it's actually an easy argument.
What if Amazon bought Epic Games?
I mean, I'm just saying they would have to. No, they wouldn't buy Epic Games because it's a Chinese owned company, and
so
they wouldn't get it. And if they did, they would be the dumbest company on the planet for buying CCP spyware. So,
what if
they would get Unreal? That'd be.
They get Unreal Engine. You get Fortnite. You know how much money Amazon would make
with
Fortnite?
CCP spyware. Yeah.
So they clean it up.
I'm sure they'll do a fantastic
Amazon
job.
already probably has that happily embedded, so
Probably. No, I just think that I don't know. That list is just too compelling. And
EA's.
Yeah, and also it's just like I feel like, do you have a more hated company than EA? Like, let's be honest, the fans of EA games don't really like EA as a company. So if you purchased EA and then you made it look very compelling that you were going to do right by the games, I feel like that's a super easy sell to get people on board with what you're trying to do. Like that you would get so much goodwill with the fan base that I just feel like that's
That's like the only 3 options. Yeah.
What? Which ones can buy?
Embracer Group. I typed in what's left. EA, Ubisoft, and Embracer Group.
Yeah, I just feel like buying EA puts you in a great position.
It would. It makes sense.
You're not taking something. You're not like absorbing a company that people love and hate to see go away. You're absorbing a company that they're like, yay, new management. Like,
I remember seeing there was like a graphic that showed who owned what at one point in time. I just can't remember where I saw it at, but I think that would be a cool graphic to pull up right now. Okay, so let's just say Amazon does buy EA. Where does Apple go from there? Who could Apple even buy?
Why does Apple have to buy somebody?
Yeah. They don't. I didn't say they have to. But
the only reason I think they're considering EA is the sports.
Apple has made some clear moves in a gaming related fashion. They've made Apple Arcade. Okay. They've signed on developers for Apple Arcade. Imagine if Apple Arcade went up to $10 or $15 a month and they added sports games.
But that's still mobile. Like they can still get those put on
Apple TV. Put it on Apple TV. Boom. You don't have a mobile experience.
Okay,
how is that a better deal in Game Pass, by the way, Chris? Like you seem so enthused by that idea.
I'm not saying it's a better deal at all. That is not what I'm saying.
I just don't see Apple currently making strong moves, to get out of a mobile first game development strategy. Unless they buy EA would be that. Obviously, that would be a sign of commitment. But I just feel like they're doing it more for the sports games.
Probably, but I could see the thing is Madden does not require a PS5 or an Xbox Series X to run. FIFA does not require. None of these games require hardware that Apple doesn't already have.
But there's a lot of games that do. Dragon Age, Mass Effect. There's a lot of games that if Apple owned the rights to, are they actually going to go through with like developing them?
Do you know
That's
at
a
one point in
question.
time there was a full-blown Mass Effect first-person shooter on mobile back when everybody said iPhones were going to take over the industry? It was called like Mass Effect Infiltrator, and it actually plays like a first-person shooter. And it's from like 2012. Like the ability to create these kinds of games as a mobile experience is not that far-fetched.
I don't doubt it, Chris. I'm just saying that people will
And then they can
still
sell you
want
the
it.
Backbone controller. Boom, you
No,
can
but
play.
people still will want it on consoles. Is
Yeah,
I
what
mean, you're
I'm
not
saying.
wrong. But I find myself more and more intrigued with not mobile games. I don't like
I
mobile
just
games.
feel like
Portable.
that's the only way you could take purchasing and getting rid of the current management of EA and actually create bad will towards the fan base is if you went in this stupid. Okay,
There
so
you
there
go.
is more, right? So like
I don't know how I got to this page again, but
I don't know, but
yeah.
you found a much better list.
Mhm.
No, it's the same page. There's 49 subcategories and there's 98 pages. So it's clearly under one of those subcategories. But yeah, this is like the full list.
But like there's there's a lot more on this list that
Yeah,
makes
you're
it.
not wrong. I didn't realize they were partnered with Hasbro for that Hasbro Family Game Night franchise.
All I'm saying is what I'm trying to say is that Apple doing like what you're trying to say would create so much ill will that people would actually quit being fans of those games.
I think Apple would start out by co-producing, like they would have mobile versions, but they probably still produce discs for the other consoles, or like even digital. Although Apple is they're pretty hands-on with that stuff. They'd probably actually not do that. Like they're probably one of the only companies that would not produce the games for other things. They just keep it to themselves.
Right now, the two companies that make the most sense for buying this right now would be Amazon. Actually, there's three companies that it would make sense to buy it purely from an IP standpoint: Amazon, Netflix, Apple. Those are the three companies. I don't see. I guess Disney could, but
Yeah.
like, do you see Disney making the shows?
No.
I don't see it.
Well, Mass Effect would directly compete with Star Wars.
They would have
Right.
to
That's a
spin it
dumb
off into
choice.
like a different, like into another umbrella, like have 20th Century Fox make it or something.
Right. I just don't see Disney making it, despite having Disney Plus. They already have a robust enough network.
They already have Star Wars. Why do they need Mass Effect?
Right.
That would be so stupid.
I don't see them making army shows.
Or making Dead Space. They're not going to do that.
Right. Like the IP is amazing, but it's not Disney Plus market.
They're more likely to make Star Wars Galaxy of Fear shows than they are to make Star Wars Dead
Right.
Space
Which then
shows.
makes it where they're not in the list. It's right
I don't
down.
think Disney's going to buy it unless it was only for EA Sports.
Right. So it's going to be Apple. I could see Apple trying to get a bunch of IP since they currently don't really have the Witcher.
Did your light just flash on you, Will?
Yeah, one of them died.
It's like,
but like Apple would make sense for IP because they currently don't really have any military shows. They don't really have anything that's an epic like Dragon Age.
So I think a lot of the older games, let me just put it this way. I think a lot of the older games would not require some serious like workover to be able to play on a phone or an Apple
You mean
TV.
like remaster them and just put them in a mobile event?
I don't think that would be hard. I think you could probably sell a Backbone controller or even a legit Apple controller, and then have it be like pay $100 for the Apple controller and get like 3 months or 6 months of Apple Arcade for free. Get all these old games they don't have to remake or anything, and then slowly shell the company down to whatever they want to make.
Did you see the news that even Sony now is developing a branch for a department for mobile gaming?
Yeah, they got a mobile and a PC gaming division.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe Apple is trying to put more stuff into their Game Pass to make it a compelling thing instead of relying on profits from the gaming, but directly, I don't know.
The problem that Apple runs into right now is they have a 30% cut on everything on the store. So anything they put out there themselves, they're competing with themselves for market.
Right. I just
Because
don't
they make money even when they don't make money.
I don't see the game side of this being worth it for Apple. I see the TV rights as what it is. Amazon would have value in both games and TV content, but primarily the fact is they're trying to expand their game development studio. So acquiring EA provides them everything they've ever wanted, and what they've been trying to build towards which is actually acclaim in that. So, and then Netflix would benefit greatly from the content, but then again, they're not hurting for TV content. It's a question on if they want to try to compete with Game Pass, which I guess they are kind of making moves in that direction with their mobile gaming aspect. So it's a question on do they want to go into like larger games? Amazon just makes the most sense.
I think so too.
From
It's
a
seamless.
fully
For them, it's
encompassing
seamless.
purchase, I think it makes the most sense. If you were just to take pieces and parts, I think Disney or Apple could make sense. Like if they
Even
just said we
Netflix.
just want, like if they said EA spin off EA Sports into its own company, then all three of them would be chomping at the bit to buy it. But
No.
EA as a whole,
well, maybe.
EA as a whole, I don't think.
I just think Disney's not on this because they don't actually.
They don't need
want
any
the
more
content.
IP.
They don't need the content.
Unless they
Nor
want to bring
is
in
it their
an in-house
style.
development studio. That's the only reason I could see it.
It's just so seamless for Amazon. It fits perfectly. You get the IP for the shows, you get the game studios, you get the actual games on your streaming services that you're trying to roll out. It actually is perfectly seamless.
Now, honestly, the thing I didn't think about, the thing that I think makes the most sense for Amazon is what they could do is instead of producing a console or anything else, they could actually negotiate with Sony, Nintendo, and PlayStation that they can sell codes directly from the site and have a different cut when people buy the games digitally through Amazon. They got their
so
own
what you're
Amazon
saying, what you're trying to say is they'll just try to compete with GameStop more than.
Yeah, because they could have a digital market direct.
Right.
All EA games then would be available to be purchased through Amazon codes, and they could control that market. They'd have more of a grasp over it, and not have to pay so much money to have. Like, imagine Xbox has to now decide whether or not they want Madden on their store at all, or negotiate with Amazon.
Well,
that's a huge amount of power that they would have.
Here's my question: do you guys actually hate this idea? Because
yes,
I actually like it.
I think it's awful. But
like, here's the thing: if I could get Army of Two, Mercenaries, Battlefield Bad Company in any format, be it a TV series or a new game, like, I want that.
I just don't like that it's Amazon.
Yeah, but EA has said that they don't even understand why Battlefield Bad Company was liked so much. The main games that make Battlefield beloved as a franchise series. For like when you have Battlefield 1, Bad Company 1, and Battlefield Bad Company 2, in like that succession made Battlefield so freaking beloved, and they don't even understand why people like it, which is the only reason they haven't made a third one. Like,
that's super frustrating,
right? How hard is it to do like some polls on why do you like this? It's not hard to understand. It's not hard to do market research or just play with people at like an E3 game like unveiling. It's not hard.
Honestly, of the Battlefield games, I felt like Bad Company was the most relatable.
It is. The
you
characters
just feel
are
like
very
these characters
relatable.
are legit, like they're real people.
It's not even that.
They're a little bit of comedic effect there, but overall, you can relate to it.
Let's put it this way. Do you know what makes it successful? It's the fact that you feel like those characters are straight from the National Guard that's like down the street, okay? Like, that's why it's so relatable, right? They're just there. They feel like you feel like Hager is like literally the guy who just joined the National Guard so he could shoot certain guns legally, all right? Like, and blow shit up. That's why he joined, right? And now he finds himself over here with a shit ton of gold that he's trying to make the most out of. Yeah, okay. It's the perfect story for America. It's Americana in a certain sense, right? And the fact that EA can't figure that out, and it's like DICE clearly doesn't like the game. They clearly don't like it. Otherwise, they'd be doing everything in their power to make a third.
Okay, let me ask you this. Currently, the market is essentially this. You've got Microsoft with Xbox and Windows. You've got PlayStation with their console, and they're on PC a little bit. You've got Nintendo with their doing their own thing, basically avoiding everybody else.
They don't care. Let's just say they don't care.
And you got Valve, right? That they're like the fourth major player without really anybody realizing it. They are essentially the fourth major player. Is there even room for Amazon to get in there, like make a real effort at this point, or whatever they would do? Can they actually do it? Like, do you think Amazon could produce? Okay, first question: can Amazon produce a physical device to compete with Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and now even Valve?
No, the physical device is a no-go. I don't think you can. I think if they leveraged the Fire Stick
for like a cloud service,
or tried to partner with Apple TV or whatever, or just in general the streaming concept, if they tried to go down that route, I think they could do something like that. But I think
Amazon Luna has more of a future than Google Stadia. I'll give them that. It has
100%.
more of a future.
Canceled, right?
It should be. No, but if they purchased EA, right, I could give you a lineup of games that they need to come out with that would make them a real contender. You bring back Army of Two. You make a Mercenaries game. You make a badass Dragon Age game, which is already planned to come out, right? You just have to make sure the quality's there. You make a Mass Effect game. You have that as your lineup for like 5 years of games, right? Like Need for Speed. You make it compelling. Maybe come out with a TV series to help build up hype for any of these. Battlefield Bad Company 3 gets announced, right? Like, just yes, and it's fantastic. Did that movie actually come out around the same time as that game? Because that actually does ring bells.
It sounds familiar. I don't know.
You've never seen The Italian Job with the Mini Coopers?
I've definitely seen it. Yeah,
it's fantastic. But no, there's a way for Amazon to buy EA and have the most badass lineup of games for the next 5 years that everyone wants and makes them a must-have.
Apparently, Stadia is not shutting down. They've already dispelled that. Apparently, they are not planning to shut down.
Not this month, but maybe next month.
Jeez. They're just delusional. That's all I can say.
So here's what I think.
If anyone buys Ubisoft, it's them.
Stadia?
Yeah, because they're going to buy the least useful one, because obviously that's the way Google is with rolling this shit out. It would be the most incompetent move. Didn't they have deals with Ubisoft too on it already?
Yeah, they had a bunch of Assassin's Creed on there. Like the new ones.
They'll be stupid and they'll buy Ubisoft.
See, here's the thing. With a cloud service, you can't pretend like people own games. I think that's the main issue with Stadia. I think Luna might have it better figured out. But basically, Stadia was like selling
They were making you buy the game to stream it.
Digital cloud license to stream a game. And while, yes, it's nice that I don't have to install anything at all other than the launcher, like I know for a fact that I don't have the game.
It's always online. You don't want that.
If I'm going to pay for an always online access, I'm going to pay for a service, not for a game.
Yep.
Because I know I don't own it. Why would I pay for that game? So they need to, like, that's the logistics that need to be figured out. How much is having a consistent library of games available to you worth? And I don't think anybody's quite sorted that out. Microsoft's done it better because you can download the games on Game Pass and you don't have to worry about streaming it. And they also have the xCloud option. But if somebody wants to go at it that Amazon Luna route, you really have to have it all figured out before you just.
So Luna's not part of the. Okay, let me put it this way. I think Apple and Amazon might have the best case because they already have services that you want. They just need to do the right bundles. And if they had it where it's compelling, it's not like you're buying Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like you're
Mhm.
literally just adding on one more service to the essentials that you deem like Prime Video and stuff.
So here's
Like,
what's
it's
already on Amazon Luna. If you're curious, let's find out
okay.
what's on Luna.
I think they need AI. How much is Luna? It's not
I'm trying to
Prime,
figure
right?
it out. Okay, I'm trying to figure it out right now.
We've looked this up before in one of the
Okay, let's
episodes.
see here. So it's play
No, we
free
looked
with
up
Prime.
Prime
So Prime
games.
Game Channels offers rotating selection of games for free. So apparently they've already got some stuff for free. There's
Yeah.
channels, and then there's play on. So there's okay. Let's hit okay. Let's see what it says. All right. So apparently I have an active subscription to Luna. What?
Wow.
That's
When
interesting.
did you get that? Okay.
I know it's free with your Prime membership. Okay.
Oh, Luna's free with Prime?
I didn't even
Okay,
realize that.
perfect. See, right there. It's already free with Prime. Who doesn't have Prime?
So these
I
are the
don't.
free games. So
You
Everspace
don't have
is
Prime?
on there.
Okay.
No.
They've got Ease on there.
Wait, so you've watched The Lord of the Rings, though, right?
No. That's
Oh,
the problem right
Wow,
now.
that's
You gotta watch it. Okay.
dude.
Damn it. Well,
You can play.
are you gonna
I can play
watch it by?
Everspace right now? Everspace.
Dude,
Chris is just talking over us right now.
no, I mean it makes sense. I mean honestly, Luna's not a terrible service.
I mean, it is terrible, but
No,
I'm
you have it
giving
for
them credit
free.
for having good games.
Yeah, they have it for free.
They have
Right
a
now.
rotating selection of like 5 games.
If you already have
But it's
Prime,
free.
it's
So I guess
free.
I can't really argue it's free.
Yeah.
Hot
Now
Wheels
just
Unleashed.
imagine them buying EA.
And everything's now free. That'd be
Everything is now free if you have a Prime membership. You're just gonna never give up your Prime membership.
Yep.
They have Team Sonic Racing. How do I find all of the games in here? Oh no, that's when you have to pay for it. Okay, so that's the Luna service. So Prime Gaming
Okay.
has a certain selection of games for free. Luna, how
Okay.
much is Luna? Oh, Luna Plus. Oh, okay, that's where they get you. So they give
Oh
you
my
like
gosh.
5
Well, click
games.
on it. Click on the start your
All right,
trial thing to see what the price is.
Before I get into that and find out that all my information is being displayed on stream,
That's
let
fair.
me click on it and see what it is. Oh, so it's $10 a month, and it's got
That's
my
not bad.
So it's got my MasterCard listed. So I'm not going to show this on screen. But it's $10 a month. I'm not going to confirm that subscription.
It's not the worst price.
No, it's not horrible. They do have a pretty big selection compared to what I thought they had, though.
So I mean, it makes the perfect sense to get EA. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed. I think we've repeated this point like
Yeah.
12 times now, but yeah, I agree.
If somebody's going to buy EA, I think that Amazon makes.
I want it
business
to be
sense.
them.
I don't
actually want it to be them. I want it. I want
Unless
it.
they're gonna kill all the microtransactions,
Okay,
I want anybody to buy EA.
See, no, they might. They might. Who
I doubt
knows?
it. I doubt it. Why would
But,
they do that?
Okay, Will, you're the third vote here.
Right.
Do you actually hate this idea, or does it make a lot of sense and you kind of like it, given the TV show?
I don't.
ideas?
I don't necessarily like it, but it makes a lot of sense. And I don't know. I get uncomfortable with any of them buying it. Like, if Microsoft announced it right now, I'd be like, ugh, I don't know how I feel about this. So it's the same idea. Like, I just have to see what they do with it. If they end up making awesome TV
Right.
shows from it, I'm excited.
But
Yeah.
okay, tell me what's the downside to EA's management getting shaken up? What's the downside?
There's no real downside for me because I don't play sports games right now. So it ends up being like they actually shake it up to the point where the games are playable again.
Do you not play any of the other games?
I don't play. What do you mean? Which ones? I play
There's
Titanfall.
Dragon Age, there's Mass Effect, there's Titanfall, there's
Dragon Age hasn't came out like what 7 years ago, something like that. It's been a long time.
yeah,
There is a new Mass Effect being worked on.
but it's they're coming out with one. I'm just saying, like, they have one on the horizon.
If it's on this Luna service and it's either free or like just $10 a month, and I could just pop in for $10 a month and play it, I could see it being.
At this point, I kind of
like,
wish
what's the worst
Embracer
that
Group
could happen?
would buy EA.
Why would they?
The worst that can happen is it goes to completely exclusive to this, and I will never be able to play it in anything else.
I
That's the
would
worst case.
Actually,
but like,
I'd rather have Embracer Group buy EA. I think that would be a huge win for them. They've already got a lot of old BioWare.
do they
devs.
currently have the money?
I don't know.
I don't know who they are. They just keep buying things though, so like they might have the money.
Well, it started out as THQ Nordic. That was who they started out as.
I don't understand how they keep buying new studios.
I kind of feel the same way. Amazon should never get EA ever.
Okay, can we stop pretending like people like EA as a studio?
I
Can we
didn't
just
say I
stop
do. I
pretending?
just don't want anybody else to
No,
have
but like
them.
anyone else managing EA would be an improvement.
Probably.
Who
But at what
cancels
cost?
who cancels studios that made games like who cancels half of those games on that list? EA.
True.
They canceled games that are fantastic. Like they just needed to rest the IP, which they have, but they canceled those studios just straight up.
Oh, I
And
guess
so
Embracer Group might buy Ubisoft.
That
would
makes
make
sense.
sense.
it would
That
make
makes a lot of
sense
to them.
since they can't get anything else out of it. But
They're trying to get them before Tencent increases their stake from 5 to 20%. So I guess it'd be interesting. There's a lot of discussion on Reddit on this one, actually. So
you guys
don't
want to
pretend
give
like
us final thoughts on this? I realize
Yeah.
Andrew's about to go on this thing about don't pretend that EA is a good company. No, they
Yes.
suck.
they suck.
And
nobody has ever said that EA is a good company.
I know, but the management of it can never get worse. It can't. You would literally have to bring Satan forward to lead the company. And he would cancel everything that's loved, that remains. Like, that's the only way EA could get worse. You'd have to be like, oh yeah, we're actually going to just burn Dragon Age, Mass Effect to the ground now too, and Titanfall's never getting a new game. We're actually just going to make nothing but Plants vs. Zombies. Like, that's EA.
another
If
game that
you
we never
brought
talked about was
Satan forward.
Apex Legends. Somehow we did not
Oh yeah,
talk
that
about
exists.
that. That
but
would be perfect for
died.
Amazon.
Okay, so total assets of Embracer Group, for anybody who's curious, is only 33 billion, apparently. Just saying, 33 billion apparently. So that's less than EA's worth.
Yeah, and that's definitely less than what they claim they're worth.
Well, let's find out, what is EA worth.
Whatever someone's willing to pay.
Yeah, really.
Let's see, what is EA?
Whatever their delusional leadership thinks.
EA.
They've ruined regular Battlefield. Okay, like I have zero faith in them making a Battlefield Bad Company 3, because if they made Battlefield Bad Company 3, they would give it the Ghostbusters treatment when they get.
Oh, you know what? EA's market cap is only 35 billion.
Okay, so do a stock takeover, but you would smash that price up sky high.
You could probably get a decent chunk of stock out of EA before the price would skyrocket.
Maybe.
So Embracer Group could
hostile takeovers are very difficult, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
especially on a company like EA, it would get noticed.
Yeah, I mean, it would get. You'd have to make it. You'd have to take a big bite right away. so
it would get noticed way too quickly. It would be a very difficult thing. I feel like that's the one thing that EA is actually on top of is their stock price. Not
it's like $125 for their stock right now.
Yeah,
and it hasn't really gone down.
Yeah, EA, not good on games, great on stock price. So,
yeah, their 5-year trend is basically high. Just everything's high all the time. The highest they ever were was looks like. Let's see here. Let's see what their 10-year was. Let's see the max. They're trending up. So like, you can't even see this. Hold on, I'm gonna show.
So, Chris, what are your thoughts? Would you like to see a Battlefield Bad Company 3 if it was gender swapped, the way EA would probably do it at this rate, given their World War II game?
I haven't bought like a legit EA game other than Mass Effect Legendary Edition in a long time.
That's fair. But you liked Bad Company, right?
I did like Bad Company.
Okay.
If you can tell a good story, I don't care who the main character is, but it has to be good story worth my time.
Yeah, like I guess that's my point. I'll agree with Chris there that it can be gender swap as long as it makes sense and it's still a good story. If
it would have to make sense. Yeah.
Like I like the show Alias. That's got.
But I made the joke that it would be like Ghostbusters.
Well, I mean, if you try to just insert characters that aren't even part of that world, and like don't make sense at all, like Ghostbusters 2016 was a financial and just creative flop because of how
and it's
hard
also so tropey.
pivot.
They're trying to make it like more women centric, which is fine, but the women characters they made were so one dimensional and they're so insulting.
It's also very difficult to take a franchise that is mostly male dominated and insert a female audience that you think is going to be there if you create a female version of it. Like it just doesn't work that way.
Bill Burr has a fantastic joke about this with sports. So,
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Is there anything else you want to get into on this?
Yeah, I want this to happen. That's all I can say.
You're the only person in this conversation that
apparently
wants it
I
to
am.
happen.
I am.
I think Will's
because
neutral. I think he just doesn't care.
I'm neutral. I just don't care. It's going to happen one way or another. Someone's going to buy them eventually. And I just hope that whoever does buy them doesn't just rape the IPs and
how is
raid
that
the
any
war
different
chest.
than the current company?
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. That's why I'm neutral on it. It's like
Yeah.
they're already doing it, so whatever.
I think it's going to be Apple. I think it's going to be Apple for no reason other than to get IPs, turn it mobile,
Other than the fact
and
that
then
Chris
shut
loves
down
Apple.
a
That's all.
ton of
Yeah,
those.
really.
I don't love Apple as much as you think I do.
Okay, here's the thing.
I think you
Chris,
love it more than you think you do.
Chris, you keep bringing up Apple, but like,
Apple Arcade and like sports games make so much
maybe
sense.
do you think they would make the TV shows, all of them?
You're coming at it from I want to see these shows made. I'm not. I'm
No,
saying I think from
no,
a
I'm
business
not coming
standpoint.
from it purely from that. I'm coming from it from the standpoint of the shows would go hand in hand with the games because they help build up hype.
I think that you're
Also-
missing the fact that I don't watch much TV.
No, but like also I want the games. I want Bad Company. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to go back, look at EA's games, what ones were extremely popular and had like a cult followings that you could easily get excited and pumped up and be like, we're gonna make those games. Like you come up with a list of at least 5 games within seconds that would be amazing to bring back.
Yep.
It's not hard. Like
Amazon buys EA and we find out Jeff Bezos was a huge Mass Effect fan.
or just an Army of 2 fan. Like that's what he just comes out as that fan base.
He's like on the cover art as one of the 2 people in the army.
Right. That'd actually be hilarious.
It's him and I don't know the other person is
The
like
villain is Bill Gates. He just puts Bill Gates in there as a villain, and then like his rival in the whole thing is Elon Musk to some
exactly.
degree.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
But like it'd be hilarious.
No,
But-
they figure out who the CEO of AliExpress is. That's his.
Okay, so Chris, where I'm coming from it on this though is Amazon is the only one that I could see making the games and TV shows. Apple, I don't see making the games. I see them making TV shows, maybe. No, I don't see them making Bad Company as a TV show, Army of 2, Mercenaries. I don't see that. Maybe Dragon Age, maybe.
probably do
Mass Effect, probably.
Well, yeah, because Apple doesn't really have a good sci-fi.
They
yet.
don't have a good fantasy anything or sci-fi. They have C or whatever it is, and that's like well,
Yeah,
who
that one's
cares?
okay. I watched it once. Just to
But
see what it
but
was.
like it's still weird. But that's the best thing they have for like a fantasy sci-fi thing. So they kind of need that content.
Mhm.
But are they gonna make the games? I can't see them making the games. I don't see the ambition.
maybe they
by
leave
Apple
the
to
game
make a console
studio
game.
intact and just that's their like I don't know, who knows. I think Amazon's a bad choice. I think anybody buying EA is a bad choice because right now EA publishes on all platforms, and even if we hate what they're doing now, I love the legacy of EA.
Who do you think is more likely to try to revive the games that are in the legacy of EA?
None of these companies at
You
all.
don't think so?
I think none of them will do a good job. I think EA is so mismanaged at this point that the best thing we're going to get is legacy games still existing with EA existing on their own.
I don't know.
I think I think anybody buys EA, you're going to see a huge shutdown of legacy games being available on platforms.
Yeah,
And they're going to be, and the issue you're going to see is like, now you're going to see, okay, Amazon Luna is the only place you can get old Battlefield games. Like if you don't already own
Fine.
them.
Who cares? At this rate, who cares? Who doesn't own them if they like them?
Well, I mean, nobody's going to go back and buy Bad Company at this point and get access. I'm just saying, I think it's bad news no matter who.
You know what? Here's the thing. I would prefer it because I haven't played my PlayStation 3 in forever, and I have nothing to play it on. So that disc on, really. So I am more than happy if Amazon put Battlefield Bad Company on Luna. I would play it. I would play it in a
I
heartbeat.
won't sacrifice good play to play something on a cloud service because cloud is garbage. Cloud is the worst way to play anything that EA produces, other than maybe like a slow turn-based RPG.
I'm just saying that.
I could play like an old school Final
I think
Fantasy.
we are diverting from the point here, guys.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
I think I want it. That's my closer.
I hate it. I think it might happen, but I hate it.
I'm neutral. I hate what EA is doing. I hate the idea of Amazon buying it. I hate everything.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
No.
That's it.
No.
Stay tuned. In the next couple of weeks, gonna have some big guests on. So,
Yep, very exciting.
Yes.
as always, I am Chris,
And I'm Will.
And I'm Andrew.
You all stay classy out there, and we'll see you
On the next one. Bye, guys.
You gotta let Andrew say something.
Well, I had like a half a second delay. I filled it in.
Bye. Bye.
He's like
Everybody.
signing off, San Francisco.